Yes, our good people, welcome again. And as you know, today is a very busy day, pale KAA, and now we have received a very disturbing message from Esther Passaris. I think Kenyans should hear what she said. Ama namna gani?
Bana.
Wakenya waweze kusikia vile Esther Passaris amesema ndio tuweze kuongelelea haya mambo.
I think Kenyans just, first of all, Kenyans have to understand what is it that the Adani group is going to provide. Now, I have actually been to Ahmedabad quite a number of times because that's where my husband goes for medical attention. And in Ahmedabad, the Ahmedabad airport has been done by the Adani group. And the first time I went to Ahmedabad 4 years ago, it was a very mediocre airport. Today, it's 1 5-star airport. All right, I've been to estates within Ahmedabad built by the Adani group. I think one of the biggest challenges that we have in this country and everywhere in the world is that when you have a tender of any sort or a partnership of any sort, and I've been a victim of that with my Adopt a Light project, or when you have an idea and you come in to try and get that contract, there are going to be many other people that want that contract. So I think what's important is that the government should come clear. And I mean, that's the reason why you have a government spokesman. Break it down so that people understand everything. So how much money is the Adani group going to put? Because I'm a parliamentarian, I'm not in the transport committee, and I want answers too. So I want to know how much money is the Adani group going to put into refurbishing the airport? What are they going to do in terms of the terminals? How are they going to take us? Are we going to have an airport as good as the one that we have in
Kenyans? Mmeweza kusikia vile Passaris ameweza kuongea mkuu. Passaris amesema kwamba Wakenya hawajaelewa ni nini Adani Group inakuja kufanya. Yeye personally amekuwa akitembea zile nchi ambazo Adani Group imejenga vizuri sana na projects zimeendelea kwa amani ama wamefanya maendeleo. What's your take? But pale kwa comment section nimeona watu wanamrusha mawe sana.
My take is this, you know, the problem with the Adani group, first of all, it is that the government surprised us. We are Kenya and Kenya is our home. We need to be, first of all, get informed fully on what is happening and why the Adani is coming in. We would wish to see a tender that is being put outside there. Kenyans are applying. Kenyans, then we say that Kenyans have been beaten by the Adani group. Then we are told that Kenyans have been beaten by the Adani group. Now that's why Adani has qualified to take up the job of renovating our airport. But here is a case where we are told Adani group is coming to take over Kenya for 30 years, the Kenyan airport for 30 years and the airstrips, I think. That is not what we want, okay? We want a deal that is favorable for us Kenyans because we need to understand why the Adani group was given. So Esther Passaris is saying that we need to understand as Kenyans why Adani was given the job. But it's the role of the government to give us the information. Why are we forcing the government to give us information?
Very true.
Why is the government quiet about it? It could be better if we get the government coming out clearly, telling us that the reason as to why we are giving Adani is this and that. This is what they are going to do and here are the beneficiaries. We also know that Adani has questionable background on where it has been accused of issues of irregularities. How did the government consider that? Are we getting this? We don't want a scenario where, like last time during the elections, we had a certain group being given the tender by the IBC, yet this group had questionable background. Still, we had elections that were questionable. I get in this. We cannot keep on doing the same thing in the name of benefiting while Kenyans are going to suffer because later on the consequence is going to be there on the Kenyans people. This is the same thing they did on loans. They go borrow loans without involving Kenyans and eventually when the loans come, they misuse, Kenyans do what? Pay back. We don't want such a scenario. So in this case here, Esther Passaris want to tell her one thing. We have Kenyans who are capable of turning that airport to be another thing. It's not that the government does not want to give opportunities to Kenyans simply because they want to benefit. We want Kenyans first to be given the chance. How are we sure that even Adani, when it's going to be paid all this money, they're going to invest in Kenya? I get in this. How is Esther Passaris giving a good statement of that kind without considering the questions that the KAA people are raising? The workers there. The 5,000 of them, those people have pertinent questions that I feel strongly that every leader in this country should be addressing. Why is it that Adani group, it's only smart, good in front of leaders, but when it comes to Kenyans,
not only Kenyans, even some parts of the country, outside the country. Remember, Adani hajaweza amehusika kwa afisa vya scandal mara mingi sana. Not once, not twice. Yes.
So that's what we're saying, that we cannot have a scenario where William Ruto only brings people who have questionable backgrounds. Yeye ana rafiki ambaye hana shida na wizi.
You always say birds of the same feathers
flock together. That is what is confirming. But the fact remains that Kenyans are able to do what Adani can do. It's only that they need an opportunity. You have billionaires in this country. If you give them a chance, they can come together and change the airport. I gave you an example before and told you one thing. We have institutions of this country that are very delicate, like the banks. These institutions have been managed by Kenyan people, and Kenyans have seen how profits have been made from these institutions. And this is what we need, these people to be given chances to deliver as well. We have Kenyans who are working abroad, doing very good work in terms of management and other things. KAA is not an issue of money. It's the issue of management, that we need it to be managed, because you can't tell us a leaking roof needs Adani to come and fix it, that we can't fix as a country. It's simply the goodwill of the government, the plan of the government to eat Kenya's money, the plan of the people, individuals in government to ensure at least they are making their families wealthy and wealthy every now and then. And that's what we are saying no to. Adani Group, it's a very, the airport is a very critical facility that should be under the hands of Kenyans, so that we can have Kenyans also feeling proud that we are developing our country. That's why I even say sometimes I support Trump, because all this that we are doing, it is simply to say that Kenyans for Kenya and Kenyans first. We should give ourselves the chance first. Where we need help, we can call for it. But when we proceed to assume that Kenyans cannot, that is degrading us by far. It's degrading us by far. And that's why I'm asking the President and Esther Passaris and his team. They should simply do one simple thing. Give us the tender, advertise it again, give Kenyans a chance to give their submissions, let it be competitive. If the Adani Group and other people want to reapply, let them reapply. But they can't force us, okay, to accept Adani. If you check Indians, I'm not being tribalistic or any other thing, there are so many in Kenya. They're having so many things they're doing, particularly constructions. In fact, Chinese don't do house constructions like the Indians do in Nairobi. Indians are constructing houses right, left, and center, and they're doing a good job. The only thing we are saying is that, why is it that we are questioning Adani? It's because of the process that is required that is not well and not clear to Kenyans. We've been having so many unclear things to Kenyans that have put us in problems, that are affecting us right now, and making us now to question any other thing that is coming on board, and it is not clear.
Yeah, that's why tumeweza kusikia vile Esther Passaris pia amesema makosa ya government ni kutosema ama kutoambia Wakenya ni nini Adani Group inakuja kufanya JKIA. So hayo ndio makosa kubwa sana, na kila Mkenya that's the same question anauliza, wanakuja kufanya nini? Where is the leasing agreement? Mbona union ya KAA ama JKIA huko ndani kuko na union? Kuna wale watu pia walikuwa washanunua shares, hizo shares zitakuwa aje? So there are so many questions and nobody is willing to answer. Even the government is quiet. And remember when that boy said inauzwa, you remember how
that, during demonstrations said, yes.
Ruto anauza airport. Tunaenda kuifanya nini? Kuizingira ama tunaenda kuprotect our airport. And then our president from Norway said, kwani mimi ni wazimu niuze airport? Kwani mimi ni mjinga niuze airport? And now my question ni, so now yeye ile wakati alisema yeye si mjinga, sasa hivi yeye anakaaje? Sababu already tushaona Adani iko airport. Because
it has taken now like leasing it for 30 years, ni kama umeuza for 30 years. As simple as that. Leasing is simply having ownership for 30 years. And during 30 years, there's a lot of money that's being made. Why is it that we have to live such kind of a life?
You have said leasing is like selling, and somebody today asked me, do you know the difference between selling and leasing?
You know,
ama giving and selling. And I was like, whichever the way, that years, it's like you museum mtu.
There's permanent
because
selling.
Nothing you are going to gain out of that airport.
Yes, they have
and
full
remember,
control.
the airport has 30 airstrips, meaning airstrip 14, not 30 airstrips, 14 airstrips, zinaenda na Adani Group, whereby hakuna any profit or any income yenye inaingia in our Kenyan, in our government. That means umekomboa ama umeuza our airport for that years. Now tell me, the 14 airstrips, the profit yenye wana make, that means inaenda kwa Adani Group, aingi kwa Kenyan government, ama hata ushuru aingi, in fact nini. So unaona ni vitu mingi sana tunaumia. So wakati tunasema selling and giving, mara osi same, guys, let's be realistic. Iwe ni kulease ama si kulease, that yes manzeni miaka mingi sana. Hiyo ni kama umekomboa shamba yako, hutawahi iona, hiyo ni kama kuuza. So let's not argue on selling and not selling. The fact remains, Adani Group must go. And one thing mkumbuke hivi, airport iko na 5,000 workers. Those 5,000 workers, in any faculty, new management once it takes over, inaingia na watu wake wapya. Sini kweli? Ama my line. Wanaingia na watu wao wapya.
Who can deliver the way they want.
Yes, the way they want. Because wanajua wale wako pale, wanajua mambo na kuiba, wanajua kila vipenyo. So lazima watakuja na wafanyikazi wao. Meaning wale wafanyikazi ambao wanafanya KAA, wote 5,000. Ama ni wachache wanaweza toboa wafanya nini, wabaki. And that's why tumeona our people from KAA ama workers wame strike, wamesema leo hakuna kutravel. If you are traveling to any country, imekatishwa hapo. Leo tunataka kukomboa airport yetu.
That is it.
That's it. So guys, kwa wale ambao wana support the government, one day we pray for you, muweze kufunguka macho, muweze kusupport other fellow Kenyans. Anyway, to cut the story short, guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to Mokwa channel and Cyprian TV. And above all, guys, don't forget to come to Ufanisi. Leo tuko Ufanisi, iko na amazing environment. Kama unataka misitu hivi, unataka kuswim, unataka kukula chakula kitamu, wako na accommodation, tembea hapa Ufanisi, utaweza kujienjoy. Kama hapa mahali tumekaa, very cool, very quiet. Tunajienjoy, hewa ni safi. Yani fresh air. So guys, don't miss to come to Ufanisi Resort as you enjoy your meal and as you enjoy your sleep. Thank you so much. See you in our next video.